Hello people, it's the Secret Anime Fan here and welcome to my review of One Piece chapter 946. It's been a while since I've done a manga review. I was really busy the last couple of months and now I've finally caught up to the manga. So let's get started, and boy, where do I start? I suppose I just say sometimes in manga you just want a big bit of action, like especially in your weekly manga when the story is very good, building up story, world building, but sometimes you just want a big bit of action. That's what's so good about Dragon Ball. But in One Piece, it's different. You get action here and there. Well, you do get good action, but you also get good story. Not saying that you don't get good story in Dragon Ball, but that's neither here nor there. But that's exactly what we got to see this week, with Big Mom just out here swinging Queen around like it's nothing. Queen's like, do you have any idea who I am? Of course, Big Mom lost her memory, but I like to think even if she did have it, she would still be wrecking Queen without any consideration. But then again, Big Mom and Kaido do have history together, so maybe she would be smarter when dealing with his crew. But then again, when Big Mom is hungry and she's in that hunger state, ain't nothing going to stop her. I don't think even Kaido could get in her way. I'm not saying Kaido couldn't stop her. I'm saying if she wants that food, she's going to try and get it. Now, I kind of wish the fight went on longer. For one, I would have just loved a longer fight, but this is a weekly manga. It's hard to devote a whole chapter to just a fight. But secondly, I just feel like a higher up commander in a Yonko crew should last a tiny bit longer than just getting owned completely straight off the bat. I'm not asking for like a big fight where a Yonko commander has a long drawn out fight that would seriously wound a Yonko. I just would have won, as I said, preferred a longer fight. I'm not saying a Yonko commander could ever be on the same level as a Yonko, because of course the level between, let's say, Big Mom and Kaido compared to Katakuri and Queen is going to be like a really large one. But 2 hits, that was just a bit crazy in my mind. But it just got me thinking, is this what's in store for Zoro and Sanji, let alone the rest of the Straw Hat crew? Will they be so far apart from Luffy even now in the story? If you think they really are that far apart, do you think that? Or in my mind, will they be this far apart from Luffy by the end of the series? Of course, the Straw Hat crew is going to be different. And then I also got to thinking of Shanks' crew and possibly even Blackbeard's crew, who will more likely be what like the Straw Hats will be like at the end of the series, where every member will be not around the same level, but will be very strong by the end of the series. Whereas in Kaido's crew and Big Mom's crew and even Whitebeard's crew, they had multiple ships, and they had such a vast, big army where the disparity between power levels is so big. Obviously, Kaido has the three royal things going on: the card, Jack, Queen, and what was the other one? King. And then Big Mom has whatever she had. Anyway, I just thought I'd throw that out there. I tell you what though, during this chapter, when I was just reading this chapter, I was really digging the art of Big Mum in this chapter. She looks like she looks kind of different compared to the other characters in One Piece when she's fighting. And when she was fighting, all the shocked faces were just priceless. This is what it means to be a Yonko in my mind. When you're doing such like big, serious things that people are pulling such shocked faces that they've just seen a ghost. Especially when you're wrecking someone with a 1.2 billion berry bounty. That's crazy. Luckily though, during all of this carnage, and thankfully as well, Kid and Kira got saved. And now, since I haven't done One Piece reviews in a while, I really want to talk about Kira, but I might just make a character story on him. But it's very sad what's happened to him so far. And I've got to admit, I didn't quite make the connection straight away that Kamza the Killer was Killer, even though I should have really saw that. It kind of crossed my mind, but I thought, nah, couldn't be really, but anyway, that's not got anything to do with this chapter review. Also, lucky, or just during the whole carnage, Big Mum also indirectly helped Karamatsu, I think he was called, and he's now free. We don't know where he's gone off to, but it's basically slowly lining up. Everything's slowly lining up, and not the finale, but it's getting there. And will this be Big Mom's role? Will she just be indirectly helping the Straw Hats during the whole of the rest of Wano? She's obviously going to probably clash with Kaido at some point. She'll probably be the third factor or party in Wano. That's clear. I've had a conversation with some people on YouTube about this. So if you want to comment down below what you think her role in Wano will be, it's already coming clear what it's going to be. But let's move on. Now, I'm not going to lie. Every time I see Caribou, I completely forget he ever existed. I hated him back in the day, but I suppose he's showing himself to be of some use in this arc. He's still got to go though, in my opinion. He's still got to go. He's got to go, or he's got to become an ally. That man knows too much. I would be severely disappointed in some twisted fate he became a Straw Hat, unless he got some like really epic character progression. It's not going to happen, but you never know. So I've got a question. Will we see Caribou become an enemy / traitor down the line in the Wano arc, leading Luffy perhaps to Kaido's hands? I know he's helping at the moment with the snails or Den Mushies, whatever they're called, but I still just don't trust him. Will he do something snidey down the line, or is this the arc where Caribou will redeem himself once for all? For me, Caribou's just always bad news. In fact, you never know, he might kind of become friendly with the Straw Hats, gain information on them, and then probably down the line give that information to Blackbeard. I can kind of see that happening in my head, but who knows? I think we can all say we've been in Big Mom's position in this chapter before, where you think you have food waiting for you, but to find out that's been eaten by a family member or a roommate, and the face she pulls to was gold in this chapter. And the next panel with everyone just legging it. When should they realise that Big Mom's food is not there and she's just going to go ballistic? And well, it was classic Luffy. Classic Luffy strikes again. If this was Sanji who found the food missing, Luffy would have lied through his teeth saying he didn't eat anything. But when it comes to a non-Nakama, he's just brutally open about it. Actually, he doesn't even know he says it out loud. That's just classic Luffy in general, I suppose. And Chopper's face just crying. He was just like, why you do this, Luffy? I got to admit, I was so wrapped up in the whole Big Mama food reaction that I actually forgot about Luffy's collar for like a split second. The whole Big Mom arriving thing has pretty much played out exactly like I wanted it to. I got to admit, I was a little bit worried for a second because I kind of wanted Luffy to take Big Mom on when he was like at the edge of the arena and still have the collar on. In my mind, I wanted that to happen, and that's that I thought, because I wanted to basically be cornered backed into a corner, and I wanted that to be the moment where he's backed into a corner and he has to take on a Yonko because he has no other choice. But he doesn't do that. I actually like the outcome better than I like the outcome that Oda wrote. I actually liked it because we see him one save Hiro even, and then they both get the collar off, and of course in that second Luffy mastered the advanced armament haki, which was really cool to see. And luckily Hio actually revived my dreams for a second, because he's like, no, you have to master this in the moment. Turns away from Luffy and he's like, you got to protect me now. So basically Luffy is backed into a corner. So all well that ends well. And now we will see Luffy's new advanced haki in action against a Yonko. We had Katakuri last time, and now it's a step above that. It's the Yonko. I really can't wait to see what happens. I think this is probably going to be the best chapter of the Wano arc maybe so far. It's going to be so hyped next week. Given that this will happen next week, knowing Oda, he'll probably switch to another storyline in Wano and come back to this, just teasing us basically. And can we just take a moment to think that Big Mum was actually getting the food to give out to other people? That's crazy in and of itself. So what exactly will we see from Big Mum in the state that she's in? Because she's obviously not in the right state of mind. Do you think she will get her memory back, or will it stay altered for the rest of Wano? I reckon it might stay altered for a very long time, because that will bring a lot of more, I don't know, it just brings a lot more excitement in my mind, because she might bump into Kaido, not remember Kaido, and I don't know. Let me know. Do you want her memory back, or do you want her to stay in amnesia for most of Wano arc, all of Wano arc? Let me know in the comment section. And can we just take one more moment to appreciate Luffy ended the chapter when he basically said, "Come then, Emperor of the Sea." I'm not going to do any dramatic phrasing of that, but I don't know, that was epic to see. This is the best chapter I've seen or read in a while, although I kept caught up to all the chapters of the last couple of weeks all in one go, so they were good as well. They were actually really good. I don't know, the last couple of weeks have been really good. Anyway, that's it for this video. If you like anime and manga related stuff, then check out my channel. Please like and subscribe, and see ya.